Good evening.
Evening.
My name is Dr. Cash Basquette, and the reason that you're here today is so that we can learn a little bit more about you and why you might want to attend our school. Are you ready?
I am.
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. Describe yourself and tell us why you're interested in attending the Lovett School.
I really like science and that department of education. I'm really into basketball, sports. If I had to choose something that I'd really be interested in, it's robotics and physics. And why I'd like to attend your school is you really give kids an opportunity in each of these subjects to really grow and follow their own path. And you have many outside of school opportunities, such as I saw your Cloud Forest trip to Ecuador, and that really focuses on science, which I noticed. And I also seen that kids can do more than one sport at your school. And I talked to some people when I toured there, and I met this man who he was a track star, and he also was a very good scholar. And he really told me that if he had to choose some place to go for that, it would be the Lovett School.
Fantastic. Tell me what you know about servant leadership. What do those words mean to you?
Servant leadership is being the big guy but not taking it for granted. It means helping out people because you have the responsibility to because you can. And that really means to me being an 8th grader in our middle school, which of course is the highest grade, because new 6th graders coming in or new kids coming to our school, it's really our responsibility to help them fit in and become comfortable in their new school.
Tell me about a challenge that you might have had academically, athletically, or in the community, and how you overcame that challenge.
In my school, throughout middle school, I've had problems with grades, and as I think every kid has had. But what I've really gone to a lot of tutors and really worked at it, and I've had people help me along the way. I've had tutors, I've had classmates, teachers, that will help. That I'm sure they have it, love it. And just people who have really helped me throughout my middle school years, and I've really had other 8th graders help me. So I think that's a responsibility.
Fantastic. At Lovett School, we really have a strong focus on our core philosophy. Tell me what you know about our philosophy and what that means to you.
I see what you really focus on is integrity and honesty and things like that. And what I've seen a lot of kids do is lie and cheat on homework. And what that means to me is that you're not being honest to your teachers and to yourself. And that can hurt you a lot. And what this really... Actually, could you rephrase the question, please?
Yes, I don't mind at all. What does our philosophy mean to you? You've started by telling us how our beliefs in honesty and integrity are demonstrated by the acts of lying or cheating on homework. Would you care to elaborate or tell me more about that?
Well, what that really means is you have to do your own work. And what you do here, I'm sure you enforce that here. And could you tell me a little bit how you reinstate that integrity in your school?
Oh, well, yes. We have a strong code of ethics, and we also have a disciplinary code that makes it difficult for students to reapply or re-enter, and they may even seek expulsion. Do you feel like that's too harsh of a penalty, or do you think people deserve a second chance?
Not at all. I mean, if you should cheat on, there should be one warning, because there's sometimes these kids that they're doing really good, and I don't know, they may have some pressure at home, and I think they should be guaranteed a second chance. But if it's continuous, then I think it's necessary for expulsion.
Well, that leads me to another question. Tell me about your values. What do you believe is important in the character of a leader?
What a leader really is to me is somebody who helps others that cannot help themselves. And what that means is that if someone feels down, they'll pick them up. If their basketball team or football team, if they're losing, then they'll be the person to step up and cheer everyone up and hopefully lead them to victory. And what also a leader can be academically is helping kids with their homework. If they don't get something, then they can notice that and they can go and help them if they get it and tutor them or things like that.
Tell me about your community service. What kinds of community service experiences or projects are you most proud of participating in?
Well, my mother, she runs a event called Taste of Marietta, which is one of the biggest events in the Southeast. And as I've become older, I've wanted to help with that. And one of the things that help with that are we help Must Ministries, and that really makes me feel good because I help this for no pay, and it really helps people who can't help themselves, which is really kind of being a leader.
Okay. Well, tell me about a person that you would like to have lunch with, alive, living, or dead.
Somebody I'd really like to have lunch with is this man named Jeremy Lin. He's an NBA basketball player. He's been emphasized as very, very good, and he graduated from Harvard University, which I don't think any NBA player has had. And what that really means for me is that you can do both. You can be a very academic-based person while still being very good at sports. You don't have to choose one. So that's why he's a really big role model for me. Yeah.
Tell me about your favorite books or the books that you're reading now.
Right now, we've been focusing on books such as autobiographies like October Sky. It's about this man named Sonny Hickam and his friends being criticized for being smart. They've built rockets. This takes place in the 1950s, where the rocket race is kind of starting out against the Russians. And what Sonny really does, he's with his friends and he's trying to get out of this old Coalwood town and really out to the real world. Mm-hmm. So he's not stuck in here being a coal miner. And with that, it's bad because they're criticized for doing what they can to be smart and help in the world.
Fantastic. Well, that concludes our interview today. Do you have any questions for me?
I do. How do you emphasize your core values in your school?
In our school, we try to make sure that every student has an opportunity for learning and for growth. We try to provide opportunities for children to live their purpose by giving them mentors and by ensuring that they have every opportunity available.
And also, I was noticing, does your school have these classes just like any other school, or do you have more open classes like that really make the kids comfortable?
Okay, like what?
Such as creative thinking classes.
Creative thinking classes. Yes, we do. Tell me a little bit about what you plan for your future. Tell me about how you see yourself as a citizen in the global society. What do you want to be when you grow up?
What I really want to be focused in is robotics, because as many news sources have said, robotics is a thing of the future. Are you familiar with the show 60 Minutes?
Yes, I am.
Well, on that, I was watching it, and they had two professors from MIT. and they've shown what they can do with robotics, and it's just been phenomenal of what they can do. It's been with medical, it's been with military, it's just been with a whole bunch of things. And it's really expanding, and so I want to be a part of that in the upcoming future.
Well, thank you so very much, Robbie. Andres, I hope that you have an amazing experience throughout the rest of the interview process, and feel free to contact us if you need anything else.
Okay, thank you.